Hey there, welcome back to the At Home Dive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey and today we're in the kitchen doing something super exciting. Today we're going to be making white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite cookies, although I never really make them that often. So today we're going to. So sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Alright, so we're going to look over the super simple list of ingredients that we have on the counter today. And the only two things that you're probably not going to have in your cabinet are going to be 8 ounces of white chocolate chips and 1 cup of chopped macadamia nuts. These are toasted and lightly salted. So to move on, I do have 2 baking trays that are lined with sill pads. If you don't have sill pads, feel free to use parchment paper or whatever you choose. And I'm not using cookie sheets, I'm using flat 1-piece bottom baking trays. That way the cookies get just a little bit of color on the bottom. I have 4 ounces of softened butter, 1/2 cup of granulated white sugar, 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract that I did go ahead and mix with 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. If you don't have the almond extract, feel free to just add a touch of extra vanilla extract. 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of corn starch, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And over here I have 1 1/4 cups or 150 grams of AP flour. So let's get started. So to get started, the first thing I'm gonna do is take the corn starch, baking powder, and baking soda, and I'm gonna sift them into the flour. I like to sift these in, that way if there are any clumps that are left in any of these, they're spread out nice and even into the flour. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in the kosher salt. And I can set a few of these things aside. I'm going to start with the softened butter and go ahead and add in both of the sugars to it. Now I'm going to beat this on medium with a mixer until it's nice and fluffy.
A few moments later.
Now that the butter's nice and fluffy and creamy with the sugar, I'm going to go ahead and add in the egg and both of the extracts, the almond and vanilla. Now I'm going to beat this until smooth again. Now I'm going to take the flour, leaven, or cornstarch and salt and give it a quick mix. And then I'm going to go ahead and add it in. Now I'm going to mix this until it's mostly incorporated.
Moments later.
Once the flour is mostly incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and add in the macadamia nuts and the white chocolate. For this step, we're going to go ahead and rake down the sides of the bowl with a spatula and then fold these in as opposed to mix them in. Whenever you're working with cookies, it's important that you don't overbeat the egg. So we're going to go ahead and fold these in. And at first it looks like it's a lot of macadamia nut and white chocolate ratio to cookie dough, but that's going to end up being a fantastic thing for us in the end. Now I'm going to just place a piece of plastic wrap flat against the cookie dough, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes.
1 eternity later.
We're back, it's been 30 minutes and the cookies have had plenty of time to set in the refrigerator and firm up. So now as you can see here, we have our beautiful 16 cookies, 2 inches apart. These really aren't that many because I made mine really big, which is perfectly fine. You can go ahead and put these in the oven if you want, or you can take just a little bit of coarse kosher salt, sprinkle right over the top. Don't do too much, but just a pinch goes a long way. And now we're gonna put them into our oven that's preheated at 350 degrees.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So here we have our cookies. We've came out of the oven. I baked mine for 14 minutes because they were so large, but I basically went until they started browning just a little bit around the edges. And that's how you're gonna know when you're done. Or if you touch them, you'll feel the slightest bit of resistance on the outside. We're gonna let these cool off for about 10 minutes before we try to take them off the trays.
11 minutes later.
We are back and I've let these sit for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the sheet and pull the cookies off the tray and let them continue cooling the rest of the way on the counter. And as you can see here, we have nice, beautiful cookies that have plenty of macadamia nuts and white chocolate chips in them. These cookies are definitely not lacking anything, full of flavor, and they look fantastic. All right, well that wraps us up on how to make white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Comment below and let me know how your cookies turn out. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Have a great day.